Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I don't really have a plan of what we're going to talk about, but I do have a general idea of wanting to talk about how your mindset shifts when you're on a debt payoff journey. And more recently, I have been helping a couple people in my personal life with their finances because they know that I make budgeting videos and I'm very open to all of my friends and family about how we are on a debt payoff journey and how we're trying to get rid of the student loans. We've had some conversations along the way about what we're doing to pay off our debt and all of that. And I think it has sparked some curiosity in people within our personal lives, and they've asked me to help them with their budget. Obviously, they know that I am not a financial planner by any means, but I've had the opportunity to sit down with a few people and get to kind of look at what they're bringing in, what is going out of their account, what their spending looks like, and just kind of set up budgets for them. It's been really fun because I budget by month, but I realized that a lot of people prefer to budget by paycheck instead of by month. So tell me in the comments below if you prefer to budget by paycheck or bi-weekly, or if you prefer to budget monthly. I think the one thing that holds a lot of people back on being able to budget monthly is that you have to get 1 month ahead in order to make that kind of work. So if you are thinking about getting a month ahead and budgeting by your month, make sure that you take advantage of any tax return that you get to get yourself a month ahead. But if you are someone who likes to budget by paycheck, tell me down below. I'm really interested to see what the breakdown will be on my viewers of who likes to budget by paycheck versus who likes to budget by month. I've been sitting down and setting up a budget for them, and I've had the opportunity then to, as a trusted individual, see what their income is like, what their debts are like. And it's becoming very apparent to me that the past couple of years have really kicked some people's butts in regards to just how much debt they've gotten into, credit card debt to be more specific, in the past couple of years. I feel like there was like a shift in the air or something where people, their mentality just kind of with the economy became more of like, mine became more of a scarcity mindset where I was like, okay, I need to take care of all of my debts. But I think other people, their mindset became more of like oh well, whatever, like everything's going to crap anyways, so I might as well just spend a bunch of money. And at least that is the mindset of the people that I've been helping. And they've been very open and not like, I'm obviously not giving out their information or telling you guys who it is. I'm not going to say like the overall outlook of what their finances are, their total debts or anything like that. But just in particular, the people that I've been helping have more so just had that kind of mindset of like, I don't know, they just thought that they would like, well, it's for a later problem, it's not for today. And so that's kind of what got them into the situation that they're in, where they are in the highest amount of credit card debt that they have ever been in their entire life. So it's really sad to see, and I do see the light at the end of the tunnel for them though, because I've been able to help them and kind of paint a picture of what it will look like for them. So hopefully they will be able to kind of work through this, and I'll be able to help them as much as I possibly can. But my point in saying that though is for every person that I have been helping to kind of put a budget together for them, I have told them that you have to change your mindset on things. You're going to have to sacrifice some things. Like one of my friends really likes to go out and go shopping and all of that. The other one really likes to eat out a lot. Doing those things, you're going to have to make a psychological shift in order to really actually cut back on those, especially if you are so used to going shopping each and every day or every other day. Like it's going to take a lot for you to hold yourself back from going and shopping and doing those things that you are so used to doing. The other thing that was really eye-opening for me the other day when I was helping my friend with their finances was they are in quite a bit of credit card debt, and one of their credit cards is a $300 minimum payment. And of that minimum $300 payment, $6 goes to principal. So $294 goes to interest and absolutely nothing, just into the air. And $6 actually goes towards the balance of their credit card. The credit card is high, so this $6 is not going to make a dent in it at all anytime soon. So you have to be able to put extra onto your credit cards if you have credit card debt. Because if you are only paying the minimum on them forever, you are going to be paying on them. It will tell you, like on your statement, it tells you how long it will take you to pay off your credit card. So if you do have credit card debt at all, check your statement, see how long it is until you are going to pay it off. But it can be upwards of like 30 some years. So that is another thing that was extremely eye-opening to me. And I didn't realize just how much, like, I knew that credit card companies were predatory, but I totally feel for the people that do get in it, and I can see how easy it is. Like, I can see how it can be like I'll just take care of it later or whatever. But then, like, when you're really actually trying to work on it, it's going to feel like it's going nowhere if you're only paying the minimum, because barely anything goes towards the principal and the rest of it goes towards interest. If you have credit card debt and you're working on paying it off, just make sure that you are paying more than the minimum. I know that there's a lot of information out there about like how you should attack your credit card debt. So there is something called the Snowball method, which is where you start with the lowest balance and you work your way up to the highest balance. That method is what I'm using for the people in my life that I'm helping them budget. I'm using the Snowball method for them because psychologically, the Snowball method is the best way to keep someone motivated to keep going. I studied psychology for my undergrad, so I know how important it is to make sure that you are having those psychological wins in life and in things. So the Snowball method absolutely is the best method when it comes to the psychology of things. Me personally, I don't really need those like little tiny wins all the time, although I can admit it gets a little exhausting. I have been doing the avalanche method, which is where I attack the highest interest, like the percentage, and then I work my way down from there. In the end, the avalanche method saves you a little bit of money, but it's not worth that amount of savings for you if you are just not going, like if you're going to give up on it, basically. And with the avalanche method, you are more likely to give up on it than you are with the Snowball method. So it is worth that extra little amount of money, at least in my opinion. It is worth that extra amount of money that you'll pay towards it to choose the Snowball method, which will give you those better like psychological wins along the way a lot faster than the avalanche method would. Of course, the avalanche method could potentially work out in your favor if the lowest balance is the highest amount of interest. So it could work out that way for you, but I would just say start with the lowest balance because you're going to see wins a lot faster than you are with the avalanche method. Like for me personally, with the avalanche method, I went and started working on my highest student loan balance because that was the highest interest rate. So I went right in to a $16,000. It was 20 at its highest, but it was $16,000 when I got really aggressive with it. And some of my other loans were like $1,000. So I could have easily knocked the smaller ones out, but I felt confident in going after that $16,000 one. I don't feel like I made a terrible decision or anything by doing so, but that's just kind of my opinion and what worked best for me. Also, my mindset has changed about credit cards, and my husband's mind has changed too, because we have previously talked about how we should get another credit card and get one that is like points or like travel points or cash back or anything like that. And we were like, well, we could put all of like our groceries on the credit card and pay it off right away and all that. Our mindset has actually changed about that, especially after talking with our friends and just kind of seeing how much their interest is on their credit card and that. My husband and I are like, no amount of points or no amount of cash back, it was probably going to be worth it in regards to having a credit card. Like previously, I feel like we were like, this is such a smart idea for us to get a credit card and we'd get cash back and all of that. And now we were just recently having a conversation and we were like, I don't think it's going to be worth it. Like, I don't think we're going to get as much out of it as we would. And especially because the ones with the like better cashback or the better points are often the ones that have a yearly fee. And so you're just constantly trying to chase those points to make sure that it evens out your yearly fee. Now, it is one thing to be said about like, there are people that make $200,000, $300,000 a year and they are able to make it worth it, or they use it for business. My husband uses a credit card for his business. It is a charge card, or it's a credit card, but it has to be paid off every month. I know you should pay a credit card off every month, but this one, they have to pay it off every month. And they charge a lot of money on that credit card throughout the year. All of the business expenses go onto that credit card. And so at the end of the year, they'll get like $3,000, $4,000 in points on that credit card for the year. Us here, we make a really good income, but we don't make enough to make that work. Like how much stuff we would have to put onto the credit card in order to actually get some like really valuable points back. Our mindset has just changed on that. And it's okay. Like if you guys think, if you're listening to this and you're like, no, that would totally still be worth it for you to get the credit card. Like that's fine if you have one and you use it and it works for you and you pay it off every month and you get lots of points or miles for it or anything like that. But for us, I just don't think like it's not worth the hassle basically for us. We would rather just pay with our debit card and just make it work that way. Obviously, I have an Amazon card, which I pay off every month, and I'm happy to just continue to use that. I get the extra like 5% back. I only use it for Amazon purchases. I have never used my Amazon card for any purchases other than on Amazon. Even with the Amazon card and buying as much as we do on Amazon, because we buy a lot of like our everyday use products and all of that, it's still like, it's just not worth it. Like, you get $10 here or there every so often, but it's not the end all be all. And it's definitely not worth like the possibility of having to pay interest at some point if you can't pay it off. So the Amazon is fine for us, but in regards to like a cashback or a mileage card where we would literally use it to put everything possible onto it, I don't know. I just don't think it's worth the risk. What do you guys think? Has your opinion changed on credit cards? And do you feel like I almost feel like we can handle credit cards and we've shown that we can handle credit cards, but like we just don't want to go too far with them basically. And then the other mindset shift that I have started having just here recently is that as much as it is nice to be able to pay aggressively on my debts, and I'm going to continue to do so because we're already on a roll and we're just going to get them gone. But for other people, I don't really recommend that they do it as aggressively as we are doing it. So I know that might sound weird. Like, don't do what I'm doing, but it's working well for me. Like, more so because I think that being on an aggressive debt payoff journey where you are cutting out a lot of things in your life and you're not really enjoying a lot, I think that mentally it takes a toll on you, and I think it works and you can obviously do it. And if you're willing to sacrifice, then go ahead and sacrifice and do it. I just don't recommend it because I would rather people be able to have something that they're enjoying along the way so they don't feel so deprived. I mean, we see it all the time in anything else where if you deprive yourself for too long, then you might end up like relapsing basically and going back and wanting to buy a lot of things or get a lot of things. So, I mean, recently I just bought on decor on Amazon, and I felt guilty for spending the $200. Well, I got the 100 back from the pictures that came in damaged, but I felt guilty for spending the $200, but I was like, nope, I just need to do this because I need to give myself something. But I would rather people give themselves those joys. And so when I'm helping the people in my life and setting up their budget, like my one friend who really enjoys shopping, I still gave her around like $100 to $150 a week for her to go shopping, because the likelihood of her being able to keep up on her budget and just stop shopping altogether is extremely low. So you might as well give yourself something so that you can still enjoy it, and it's not going to make you feel like you had to give up everything in order to be successful on a debt payoff journey. I know it sounds so weird that I'm giving the opposite advice as to like what I'm doing. And like I said, you can do an aggressive debt payoff journey if you want to, but I just don't think that it is the only way by any means. And I think that you can you can have both if you want to. You can have both debt payoff and savings. You can have debt payoff and give yourself personal spending. Like, it's okay to be able to do that. And we don't all have to like stop everything that we're doing and not have fun anymore just because we're paying off debt and like, ugh, shame on you for like getting into debt in the first place. Like, relax. It'll be fine. And as long as you're working towards it and making little small wins for it, and just like having a focus of at least budgeting, living below your means and paying what you can towards it, while also still giving yourself other things in life like personal spending, if that is what is going to keep you sane, then by all means, go for it. So more recently, I've been giving myself a little more wiggle room when it comes to some personal spending, obviously with me getting some decor stuff. And then I've also been giving myself more wiggle room to do more stuff with my family, which I've been talking about quite a bit here on the channel in the last month or so. And it's just because I'm realizing how important that stuff is to me and how I want to make time for that and set that into the budget moving forward. But I have still set a goal for myself to pay my student loans off by June, and I still want to keep up on that. I want to keep my word when it comes to that, and I do want to still push myself. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to fit both in for right now. I'm still staying on the aggressive path. And at least at this point, we are in February, so June is just 4 months away. So 4 more months, and then after that, I will give myself a lot more breathing room when it comes to saving and doing things for fun and kind of personal spending when I'm working on my car, because at that point, I'll stretch my car out just a little bit longer. Not a lot. I'd like to have my car paid off within like a 1.5 to 2 years from June. So I won't like stretch it out too much, but I'll stretch it just a little bit to give myself some more breathing room and hopefully end 2026 a little bit happier with all of what I've done in my personal life. I was super happy at the end of 2025 with my financial well-being, but I wasn't so happy with like how much we had done as a family. And we also found a lot of free community events. So I found online and we started looking up free community events for us to go to, which we've found a lot of. The library has a lot of free things. We've got a family museum pass that we already paid for, and they have a lot of events. So we figured out kind of the workaround to where we're trying to do stuff that is already like free or available to us, and so that we're not spending a ton of money on it and we're still getting to do things together. Other than that, that's pretty much all I really want to get off my chest for right now and talk about. I just wanted to sit down and chat with you guys about just how my mind has changed. And I'm sure it will probably change from now to next year. So I will try to keep you guys updated. Next year, I'll do another little update on if my mind has changed on anything. And it's okay to change your mind on things too, just so you know. If you have been super strong and like thought one way for so long and then you change your mind on that, that's okay. And you can do that. So just remember that. And other than that, that is all I've got. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.